Hello and welcome to the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today is Thursday, June 8th, 2023, and I'm feeling great. And I'll tell you why. There's a couple of reasons why. First and foremost, I'm just so excited to be back really doing what I love doing most, which is really digging into some of the technical operational issues regarding the company. I probably know more about this company than a person should. And I don't mean that in a weird, material non-public kind of way. I mean it just from the perspective that I'm literally collaborating with some of our friends on Twitter, and we're kind of like piecing together what power plants are in the PJM Penelec zone of the grid, because Homer City, which is a coal-fired power plant, gave notice that they're shutting down completely. They've already evidently been running at reduced capacity, but as of August or July 31st, I believe, they're going to be shutting down completely. Now, that's not certainly something to celebrate, and I'm not celebrating it. It actually sucks for Indiana County. There's a lot of jobs tied to that particular power plant. But just the act of kind of like piecing together which power plants are in which counties that generally comprise the PJM Penelec zone of the grid. See, it's things like that which I find really exciting and interesting, and which then help paint a more detailed picture as to what's going on operationally with Stronghold Digital Mining. I want to point something out. This company, right, that the power plants that it operates are essentially in my backyard. So, everybody has to make up their own mind as to whether or not they want to be invested in Stronghold Digital Mining, okay? I've said from day one that I'm gambling, and I used that phraseology very intentionally, okay? I'm gambling on the skill and expertise of the people of my community. I'm gambling not only on the skill and expertise of our friends in management, but really of just everybody who's like part of this story, of this company. I believe passionately in the mission of this business. Cleaning up these horrifically toxic, damaging waste coal piles, I think is a righteous thing. And if these plants go out of business, these piles are going to be here forever. Okay, and I'm a very passionate environmentalist, and I'll be the first to tell you, if there were another solution, like waving a magic wand or sprinkling some seeds on this stuff to make it go away, I'd be the first person out there saying, hey, wait a minute, we don't need these power plants, shut them down. Let me be the first in line to sprinkle seeds, to wave a magic wand, and let this stuff just kind of magically vanish. For better or for worse, there's no perfect answer this side of heaven. I do think that what we're doing and what other waste coal power plants here in the state of Pennsylvania are attempting to do is really the best solution. These are purpose-built facilities that are intended to clean up this mess. This is my home, okay? I live here, I drink the water, I breathe the air. This is a gamble that I'm comfortable making. When I say I'm all in, I don't literally mean every last penny. I'm walking around like naked because I've sold everything to invest it in the company. What I mean by all in is, hey, I have a very healthy investment in the company, but it's really about this too, right? Like these videos and kind of the advocacy that I do. I'm not paid to do this, neither by the company, by some hedge fund. I mean, this is just something I'm passionate about because, again, I really believe in this stuff. And I'm only sharing this because sometimes there are going to be some negative comments, be it on Twitter, be it on YouTube. And if you're somebody who's kind of like on the fence and you're not like 100% committed, it's very easy to find yourself feeling swayed and uncertain by the comments somebody might make, or by, oscillations in the stock price. This is just me now, right? Like I like looking at operations. I like looking at, hey, what are we doing in terms of revenue? What are we doing in terms of keeping these plants like running, keeping this business alive? I do think that there's a very strong case to be made for an incredible upside in the price of this stock. But again, I've from day one said this is a gamble, and it's an adventure. And I passionately believe in really doing everything I can, to really contribute to helping this business stay in business and to ultimately succeed at its mission. So, so I know that that's a lot, but I'm just pointing that out because there is a lot of negativity out there, and I don't want anybody else to necessarily follow my path. You have to be comfortable with what you're doing with your money, right? You have to be comfortable with what you're doing, with your attention and what you're choosing to focus on. There's a lot of other Bitcoin, publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies out there. There are none, to the best of my knowledge, where I can literally, quite literally, study the operations firsthand. Like I can ride my bicycle literally past a power plant. I mean, Stronghold, I feel as if though in many ways I was destined to cross paths with this company, just as much as perhaps the company was destined to cross paths with me. At the risk, I don't want to get all metaphysical and weird about it, but there's just, I don't know, like I could not with authenticity talk about some other Bitcoin mining company located, I don't know, in Texas or in Ireland or in wherever, simply because I just don't have the connection to the environment in which, these companies are operating. So, okay, that's a lot, but I want to point that out. There's a lot of negativity out there. You got to make up your own mind, okay? If you're 100% committed as I am, then hey, look the stock price is going to do what it's going to do. If it wants to go to $1 a share, if it wants to go to a penny a share, it's going to do that, okay? What I'm focused on is operations. What are we doing with cash flow? What are we doing with uptime? Are we keeping the plants healthy? Are we keeping are we keeping them going? Are the data centers, are they online? Are we doing everything in our power to really ramp up to 4 exahash and beyond? Are we controlling all the variables that we have the potential to control? Are we, when we're going to work every day, are we saying, hey, you know what? Yes, sometimes work can suck, right? I mean, you know how it is, right? But look, am I going to try to bring my A game today? Am I going to try to lift up the spirits of my coworkers who might sometimes feel a bit dejected because we see where the stock price is going, right? And it's kind of like, man, it's demoralizing. It kind of sucks. We're kind of worried about the future. Homer City shutting down. For the guys up at Scrubgrass, right? That's, hey, there was a time where Scrubgrass, looked like it was destined to shut down as well. So, again, we have to collectively build ourselves up to stay focused, right? We need to kind of stick with this. We got to do what we can do to help this business run in the best manner possible. I'm doing what I can do as a person who exists outside of the company, right? Right? It's not like I'm in the control room. It's not like I'm making managerial decisions, but so we all have a role to play, and we cannot allow ourselves to get distracted and dejected and demoralized by be it the stock price or negative comments that are out there. Hey, everybody's entitled to have their say as to what they believe the future of this company is, okay? And for some people, they believe very passionately the future of this company is a stock price of 0, okay? That's what they believe. So be it, okay? We choose to have a different outlook. We choose to come to work every day with the idea of hey, what can I do today to help this business keep going? Because you know what? I'm thinking about my buddy in the control room, or I'm thinking about my buddy who helps me in the data center, or hey, I'm thinking about my buddies who drive trucks, right? We're all in this to try to stay in business so we can all have jobs, right? At the end of the day, when I think of, Nesquehoning in particular, man, some of these, we know this, right? The communities have been decimated by all kinds of other issues with the economy. This is it, man. We got to really try to make this work. I'm 100% committed, even though I don't even get a paycheck from the company, but I'm just committed. So I'd invite you, right? If you're someone who's like, man, yeah, I got to tune out some of the negativity. I got to focus on what I have control over. Okay. And I got to just do the best I can every single day. Okay. Not because I want to make a bunch of shareholders rich or anything. Hey, dude, it's about, I want to have a job. I want to see this crap cleaned up in my community ultimately. To the extent you pick up some shares and you become an owner as well, that's awesome. That's right, participatory economics. You then are a co-owner of the business. So anyway, I've kind of gone on a bit of a diatribe here, only because, again, there is a tremendous amount of negativity out there. So let's stay focused on what we have the power to control. Speaking of the stock price, let's pull up a chart here real quick. Okay. These are 3 companies within the Bitcoin mining ecosystem, the publicly traded Bitcoin mining ecosystem. This is from yesterday. Can you tell me which of those charts represents Stronghold Digital Mining? Because, sometimes people say, well, you can't really compare Stronghold to the Marathons of the world or the Riot, platforms of the world. Well, let's look at those 3 charts. Which one is Riot, which one is Marathon, and which one is Stronghold? I mean, can you tell the difference? I mean, I can't. Okay, let's switch to the next slide that shows which is which. All right, that was yesterday. I mean, every day it's going to be a little bit different. Back to me now. But the point I'm trying to make is sometimes the stock price just kind of moves along with, whatever's going on in the market. All right. So enough about the stock price. All right. I don't yet have certain pieces of data available to present in terms of those averages, in terms of the, grid prices and things like that. I'm very diligently working to get that back on and to do so in a way that I think somebody in the comments asked, hey, can you share maybe multiple weeks or months of data? Yes. In fact, I thought this was actually being published publicly, but I got to double check because I do want to set this up so that people could just download this data, should they choose to, into their own, Excel spreadsheet and play around with it and check it out. That's kind of the goal here, right? So, okay, let's leave it at that for today. That was quite a bit of a talk, so to speak. But look at the end of this story, there's going to be one of two outcomes, right? The story either ends with all of us who care about this company having put it all on the field, right? And having tried everything that we can do to make this work. I mean, it's like we live here. Sorry for all the swearing, but I'm passionate about this. We got to make this work, okay? All of us probably know at least one person who's gotten sick because of this toxic shit that's laying around here. If we don't clean this up, if we can't make the economics work to keep the business going so that we can keep cleaning this stuff up, I'm convinced it'll never go away. And that would really, really suck. So let's stay positive. Let's be great. And we'll see each other again tomorrow.